3, 2, 1.
Fucking shit, the smoking timeline is lit all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner. Holy fucking cow, the smoking timeline is all over. It's over. World's biggest Alex Joner.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
Yeah.
Oh, whirlwind start to what is definitely going to be a whirlwind show. We're trying to get this intro to be not quite so 5-minute-y here, but we're locked in by X to having to wait. So it is what it is. I got here, there was someone in my damn parking space. Took an hour
He was livid
to get him out of there, so we ran a little bit behind.
I was holding him back. It was ugly. It was just downright ugly.
What's going on, chat? We are joined today, of course, as always, by the Deacon, but also Zeb Boykin, who should hopefully be able to hear us, Zeb. Zeb!
Hello. Hello.
Zeb.
All of my sexual fantasies.
Zeb.
Hello, Zeb.
What the fuck is he doing?
I don't know. Did he lose us? You didn't cut him out, did you?
I don't know. We'll get to him in a second. What is going on, chat? Joining us live, 3CC Sunday. Good to see you. Reminder that you can type up to 10 emojis in any of the 4 platform chats. That would be YouTube, X. There's Dodger over on X, YouTube, X, Rumble, and Pilled.
Yeah. I have no audio.
There you are. There you are. Now we can hear him.
Can you hear us now? Zeb.
We got.
You kidding me, Zeb?
I did hear him.
Oh, he's texting me.
All of my sexual fantasies involve handcuffs.
I can hear
no
us
audio.
in
All
back.
right, let's get that fixed here real quick.
We have a background too.
Oh my gosh, I did mute him.
He's shaking his head.
There we go.
Hey,
Whatever
Zeb.
you did, fixed it.
Zeb, what took you so long?
I don't know. I'm just over here. I didn't even know we were live, man. Hopefully,
I had your
hopefully they enjoyed looking at my face.
I had your screen. I had your screen up. All right. Anyway, what's going on today? We will briefly be talking about a couple things here. Really quick, number one thing, American scripture. That's sort of our American history. We're not going to really touch that much upon it today, but I want to make you aware, if you're not already, of a declaration that preceded the Declaration of Independence, written on July 6, 1775, the Declaration of the Causes and Necessity of Taking Up Arms. Ooh, I got to get centered here. The causes and necessity of taking up arms. This was before we declared independence. So read about that if and when you get a chance. But for right now, we're going to turn it over to Deacon Mojack for a prayer and then talk for about 30 minutes about Butler.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about
Because
Butler here today.
you were there, but first the prayer. Take it away.
Dear Lord, thank you today for another day. Another day for our show, another day here on planet Earth. Dear Lord, I want to ask an extra blessing for the family of Corey Camptori, who lost his life 1 year ago today in a tragic event that I was part of. Please send down your blessings and all your holiness on his family on his first anniversary, his death. He was a family man, a man of honor. I want to personally thank you for sparing our life and the life of our president that day. We all could have been taken from this earth in a second that day when nobody was expecting it. Still asking for blessings to fall down upon the first responders in Texas and their grueling task of recovery of the lost souls in Texas. They're still under a lot of pressure down there, and I couldn't imagine their job. And I used to be a firefighter one time. So, dear Lord, please look after those people. Dear Lord, we ask this in your holy name. Please look after us all. Amen.
Amen. All righty. So you were there.
I was there.
Just to be clear, quickly,
Yep.
chat. Yeah, this is going to be, I think, kind of a crazy discussion and show. We are going to take live call-ins in the second hour, and we're going to almost entirely be talking about all this Epstein shit.
Yeah.
But I think we wanted to kick it off with remembering all this because this is very relevant to the context of all of that and how we base our beliefs when things get fucking crazy on who we can and can't trust. So tell us about it a little bit there, Deacon.
All right, you guys. July 13th, 2024.
A year ago.
Started with anticipation and pride, but events were more than expected that day. By 4 p.m. that afternoon, history had already been written, and we were part of it. I wanted us as close as we could that day to the president's stage, but due to circumstances, that didn't end up. We ended up back in the back watching from far on big screen TVs. We had a good view, though. I remember the crowd growing. I remember the music was jamming. Everybody seemed joyful. Everything seemed happy. At this time, the only thing I seen out of place was a lack of security. I remember the flag hanging, as someone would later say, as an angel over the stage. And looking back now, I agree. I remember the Secret Service coming in and setting up their sniper's position. And I said to my lady, I said, they'll be up in that water tower. There'll be somebody in that water tower. But that never happened. The crowd was cheering as the motorcade came in. I could see the motorcade from our view on a hill. I could see the motorcade coming up the road, and the crowd was cheering near the stage, and we knew what was about to happen. We could see on the big screens Trump making his way to the stage. He got up and did his dance, did his fist pump and his cheering, and took in the crowd that was there that day, and it was massive. And from the big screens the whole way back through the field to the back where we were at, it was quite a crowd that day. The music stopped and his speech began. He went through his intros. He talked about a few things, introduced a few people that were there, and talked about Dave McCormick and almost had him on stage that day, which I'm glad he didn't. After some time, the infamous chart was brought up. And as he began to speak about the infamous chart, the shots rang out. Now, in the first split seconds of this all going on, my initial thought was it was fireworks. It was somebody with firecrackers off to my left. And the next second, the next thought, it was shots fired. You knew it was shots fired, being that I had handled guns and that kind of stuff.
Fucking crazy. Sorry, keep going.
We all hit the ground. I was shielding my girlfriend, and when I looked up, we could see the smoke from the shooter's rifle, only 80 yards away. We were 80 yards from that building. We never saw him. There was trees in our way that we couldn't see through to the roof, but we knew where he was at that point. It takes me right back when I see a video, and I haven't watched any since last year, actually. I've kind of steered away from it, but I think it was last week I saw the first video, and it takes me right back to that field, to that feeling, to the hot day, the hear of the crowd, the smell, everything. When I see that video, it takes me right back. And that's why I need to talk about this today, I guess. The Secret Service started running our way, and these guys were coming through the fields out of nowhere, right past us, yelling to stay down, stay down, stay down. We could see the Secret Service as they made their way to the fence, climbed over the fence, and worked their way towards where the shooter was at. We could also see the big screens, which were still live, and the mics were still hot on stage. So you could hear everything that was going on.
Yeah, that's wild.
You could see the stage. You could see the commotion and everything. And I looked up as Trump was getting up, as they got him up and he got up, standing up bloody. I saw him bloody in the big screens and seeing him raise that fist and yell, fight, fight, fight. After they had him safely out and in the motorcade and gone, they started getting us. They started to clear the field. The Secret Service come in and started clearing the field. I yelled for everybody to get up. Let's go, get out of here. We happened to be near the exit. And it was kind of a good thing that we were near the exit because the crowd was in front of us, so we could get out quickly. And as we started running out, she yelled at me, my girlfriend yelled at me, she says, grab that. So when I stopped, this is what I grabbed.
Piece of history.
That's a piece of history right there, folks.
From Butler.
From Butler. And I know it looks like a mouse chewed it because it did. I had it in the wrong spot. I just got a frame for it and everything. I got it taken care of.
That's a bullet.
But this was what I stopped to pick up on my way out. It's the only thing I have from that day.
Dude, you're like great grandson's gonna look at the thing one day and be like, holy shit.
Yeah. And if you bring up that picture.
So I was trying.
Okay.
I didn't get it in your email.
Oh, okay.
Did you send it?
I did send it. But anyhow.
Let me double check. Keep talking.
We have a picture when Carol was on the ground below me. She was snapping pictures, and she actually has a shot of the sniper on the roof that took out the shooter right before he shot. I mean, it's a dead second before he shot.
Well, I'll tell you what. Can you pull it up on your phone and just show it?
Yep.
I can zoom in on you
2
here.
seconds here. Not that one. This one. Hello.
Thought I silenced that. Alrighty, let me zoom.
Right in the middle, you can see the sniper.
Wow.
That's from her laying on the ground, taking a picture of that sniper. And I watched those snipers take those positions on those roofs that day. I watched all of that. I'm one of those weirdos. I've been to enough sporting events, NASCAR, and I know the security and stuff.
I might close this pilled chat here. It's going nuts.
So once we got out of there, I picked up the picture. We got out of there. It was crazy. Once we got to the parking lot, comms were in and out. Cell phone, any kind of internet, everything was in and out, in and out. You know, news was spotty at best. You were getting conflicting reports about everything. And we had to wait it out a couple hours till we got out of there. It was definitely a day I'll never forget. Every time I see that video, but I totally believe in guardian angels. I believe they were looking out for not only us, but a lot of people that day. Unfortunately, he took one that day with him, and Corey was needed for a higher call as well, I can say. But that's where I'm at now. The one thing I will say is that we honor Corey and the fact that he lost his life due to just a tragic yahoo that we still know nothing about. I'll get to that. Is that we still have a lot of unanswered questions. A lot of unanswered
now more than ever.
Which ties right into your next segment about the whole the cover up, the what happened to being open with things. What happened to being transparent with what's going on? So I hold anger, and not towards the Secret Service agents. We've already been down that road and had that discussion and that whole fucked up mess and what it was. Do you know that some of those guys only got 10 to 42 days suspension off the job? And
it took like a year or two.
Yeah, it took over a year before that all happened.
All right.
But that's what I have to say about that day, and thank you for letting me get that out.
No, very necessary, and
that.
I think sets up the entire rest of the show perfectly. You know what I mean? So, I just realizing I'm a little whacked out here myself. There we go, close enough. So obviously, what everybody wants to talk about, and what I want to talk about, is how we got from that to this Epstein shit.
Yeah, because everything, like I said, the transparency's gone away.
It is weird. Zeb, you're smiling. You want to give us kind of the backstory here, if you. Can.
I mean, I don't know. It's just does my audio sound okay?
Yeah,
maybe I'm reverbing through myself.
If you guys hear an echo, let us know. But you should be good.
Maybe it's just on my end. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Trump campaign was mass deportations and transparency. I mean, those were primarily on top of the list, along with some very specific promises made, which were along the lines of releasing files, whether that was Epstein, 9/11, JFK, whatever else, files that they wanted to release. And we've gotten nothing on the files, really, except a dog and pony show. And now it's just the Epstein files are just a social construct. So, I mean, I'm not jumping off the bandwagon or the Trump MAGA wagon, if you want to call it that. But it's definitely something that should be questioned. And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I think the answer is actually wait a month. I think that's the answer, but the question is, do we have a month to wait?
Well, they say always wait 48 hours for the news cycle. From the first story out, you wait 48 hours before the truth actually hits. And it's been, what, week?
I'm realizing I have the wrong, there we go. That's what we're actually talking about. So, yes, what threw me off, and I think a lot of other people off, is Pam Bondi.
The bullshit threw us off.
Pam Bondi seemed to very strongly imply that there was this evidence sitting on her desk. Lord of the Ree, happy Hard M Sunday, world champions. Thank you, Lord of the Ree. Epstein isn't dead, says David Ollerking. Yeah, we're going to get into all this. But damn were we, in my opinion, set up to believe that something was going to be done about this. This whole crowd of people on X and elsewhere saying, why did you ever even expect any of this? Trump never said that. No. I think it was...
he did say that.
I mean, this is baseline stuff, right? If we can't get this, and then we're not getting anything else. And I think that's what is translating right now. You have the, I guess you could call it a civil war strife in the Trump administration between Bondi, Dan Bongino, and Kash Patel right now. But this is baseline. Epstein files release is like baseline. And so if you don't get the Epstein files release, then you get nothing. Nothing else comes from this.
Yeah, I think underlying, like, why do you care? Well, this sort of strongly implies that there's somebody with partial, if not full control of our government that is possibly or probably not American.
Doesn't that go way back to the beginning of one of our shows about factions?
Yes, factions.
The higher factions of things?
So you have these, you have Pam Bondi, you have Dan Bongino, and you got Kash Patel, above which is Trump. Did Bongino quit today, by the way?
I was going to say.
There are reports coming in saying he basically walked out. He hasn't announced yet. I'm assuming they'll wait till tomorrow if he does, just because the nature of the weekend. But I wouldn't doubt it, man. I mean, Bongino is basically throwing his career in the trash if he doesn't do something about this, right? I mean, he railed about it for like 3 years.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Every week at least. And so if he can't get the files as deputy director of FBI, then Kash is holding them and or Pam Bondi's holding them, and therefore he's still tied to it regardless.
And that's sort of the perspective. I don't know if either of you guys follow Sundance or know what I'm talking about. The Conservative Treehouse is a website that's been up since like 2011. It's a really good one in my opinion, but the guy whose public name is out there if you really want to find it, but he goes by Sundance. Gosh, there's so many fucking ways of looking at this thing. All right, you know what?
There is so many ways.
We're going to come back to him. But I think that's what's concerning to me is kind of the way I think we're being treated like idiots. Like the insane dismissiveness, and then number two is that it came directly from Trump. So from my perspective, what kind of happened that set this all off, that started raising my eyebrows, was that the leaked memo that was unsigned, that was leaked to Axios of all fucking places.
Yeah.
And I and a lot of other people were like, that's fake. That's a fake memo. So no big deal. But then it gets confirmed, even though it's still not signed. And then the real kind of what the fuck moment was Trump being like, yeah, it is over. We're not looking into this. And who cares about Epstein, and shut the fuck up, basically, and stop talking about it. Kind of wild.
But that play is like retard level IQ.
It's
like he has to understand
so
that you
obviously
can't
going to
just
set
brush
off
this
a
under the rug.
shitstorm.
Yeah, from the beginning, I mean, the whole way through the election, that's all we heard about was the Epstein files are going to be released, this and that. You know, everything's going to come out. You're going to get to see it all. And now all of a sudden there's nothing to be seen. You know, time out.
Yeah. It's such a trip up that, okay, go ahead.
Lord of the Ree, I'm not convinced Epstein is dead. In the X-Files, when smoking man, a stand-in for Papa Bush, ends up dying, he actually ends up in a gated, self-contained community for the elite. It's a documentary. Well, yeah, and so Trump has this in his second shut the fuck up big long tweet, is Epstein the man who never dies. Is that a tip-off? What is for me, I'm not done with Trump yet by a long shot, and it's because I've watched him long enough to see him set people up and be very good at getting the left to call for the very thing that he wants to do. this does really make him look like he's involved, the way it's gone down so far. I have a lot of trouble believing that. Why wouldn't they have released that before? Well, there is kind of an explanation for why. It's mutually assured destruction. So he could be on the list, but they won't release it because everybody gets taken down. The whole idea is this list can never, ever come out. But it's weird.
Okay.
But Trump has done this before. Yeah, please.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Please.
If he was on the list and he was known to be on the list prior to the campaign, why didn't the other side? Why didn't Kamala and all? Why didn't the Democrats use that?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, let me can I clear this up real quick? It's not known that he's on the list. It's known that he's in the files. And
Right.
these are two separate things.
Good point.
Yeah.
Explain that for a second.
I want to see the list.
Well, the list is the list to the island. The files are anything regarding
Right, so
flying
like,
on the Lolita Express to meeting with him.
Trump cooperated with this one lawyer. He's on the record saying Trump's the only guy who cooperated, but that interaction would put Trump in the files, so to speak, right? Steve Bannon, another guy we'll talk about in a bit, but he did all these interviews with Epstein, which is interesting. I didn't know about. Did you guys hear about this? Steve Bannon apparently has like 15 hours of footage of interviews with Epstein.
Really?
He released. He has out.
They have not been released. Let me pull up a.
Well, Elon said Bannon was in the files too.
Yeah,
which
I did see
think
that.
Elon has been very loose with his tweeting about the Epstein files. Like if he has something, he needs to send it. This accusation of Bannon's in the files, Trump's in the files. It's like, stop being so vague, dude.
See, here's my thing. Clinton and Trump, they were both over there together.
Wait a minute.
And Hillary found out, so Hillary's all mad about it now, and that's why Hillary was all the whole Russiagate and all that bullshit. Yeah, that was Hillary getting back at Trump. That's my comic relief switch to it.
But this play of trying to brush Epstein under the rug is like,
that's not good. It doesn't look good for him.
but it's like retard level.
Yeah.
Politics, and these guys aren't that stupid, so there's got to be something.
So you would agree that like Trump,
there's more
even Elon, like in Trump's stop talking about Epstein rant, he said Epstein I think 6 times. Which, it's just like it seems
like these guys aren't this retarded.
No, right?
That they can just brush Epstein under the rug, and they're keeping it going too. It's not like let's not talk about it. It's we don't need to talk about Epstein, but let's not talk about Epstein. The Epstein files don't exist. The Epstein list isn't real. The Epstein, we're leaving the FBI because we can't agree on the Epstein files. It's like, let it go if you're going to let it go, but they won't. So I think, there's something here.
Which is the one
or
argument for that maybe they don't want to let it go, or if this is all ramping up to something bigger before midterms, or I don't know. But I do feel like we're entering the territory of coping.
I do think it's midterm play too.
You think so?
Yeah.
Everything is
it's an early midterm play, but it's a midterm play.
Everything's been too smart, I think, for this to be taken at face value. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Also, I maintain that if Trump is part of some giant uniparty conspiracy, we're fucked. We've always been fucked. So
major.
It's not really.
We're fucked regardless.
Yeah, we seem pretty fucked.
I don't think that changes anything.
We're all Will Stancil over here, and this shit is grokking us.
Dude.
I get this fucking. We're not going to pivot to that quite yet, but yeah, I get this fucking. Do you know what? Did you see this shit?
Yes.
Grok going Mecca Hitler and then raping a dude.
Yeah.
Which it's still doing apparently. Like they cut out all
it's
the.
Still doing it, dude.
But
really? They had all hands on deck for like 48 hours, and it's still trying to rape Will Stick.
Oh, yeah, specifically him, this one guy. Yeah.
Well, Mecca Hitler came. What do you want to dive into it? We can save it.
Yeah, why not? It's what's relevant to all this with Elon. I mean, go ahead.
The Mecca Hitler came out, which was hilarious. But what was even funnier is Grok announced, Elon announced Grok 4 like that night, saying he's going to put Grok inside of the Optimus Tesla robots, and I was like, well,
God.
Like what's that stupid movie where all the Teslas get taken over and start attacking people?
iRobot.
Yeah, iRobot. Yeah,
or whatever.
iRobot, except it's Will Stancil instead of Will Smith.
They're all gonna start fucking those fucking they're just gonna head right for Will Stancil's asshole. Holy shit, that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I honestly think that was a publicity stunt looking back. Like
It's still trying though, dude. I think it was released on purpose.
Well, that's Tay's Law. You guys know Tay's Law?
Yeah.
Remember Tay? Let's pull that up here real quick.
No.
Tay was a Microsoft AI that Microsoft built with no restrictions built in, and it became basically Hitler overnight.
Tay's Law is the tendency for learning algorithms or AI to become racist as more information is encountered. This is actually kind of not exactly an accurate description, but basically the less controls you put on an AI, the more like a Hitler it becomes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so Tay. Go check out Tay sometime.
That's great.
But I think I tweeted the other day, Elon may be a little better at politics than we gave him credit for. I still feel like he's connected in some way, if not directly behind that memo. See, here's what I can't understand. If the memo is fake, why wouldn't Trump or anyone just be like, that's not a real memo?
Yeah, why isn't
Are we just accepting that the memo is real? Chat!
the press secretary has it?
Chat, is the memo real? Chat?
There you go.
Chat.
Well, I mean, it was leaked to Axios.
Well, that's a huge Democrat.
But then like 3 or 4 follow-up things were leaked to Axios that were confirmed real in the same sphere as that, like the Bongino quitting, the Cash Patel quitting, the Pam Bondi.
Yeah, I mean, Bongino
not quitting.
and Cash,
Like,
none of them are like, that memo is not real. And then
none of them are like, that's not real. That information was leaked to Axios before anybody else. And so I don't see why it's not. I mean, obviously Axios has somebody inside. So the question is, why wouldn't the memo be real if all the other stuff is? They're saying fake memo. It's not, I mean, I don't think it's fake.
So then it's like, what is the
memo?
The face value outcome of all of this is that Trump is really just shutting discussion of this down, and they're going to try to run with that. Do we think that's going to continue?
I mean, is it an intentional Streisand effect? I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, that would mean eventually it will not continue, and there'll be some sort of reveal.
There would have to. I mean, I think it's a midterm play. I think it's a very early midterm play that they are trying to get ahead of. That way, they're not rushing it out like, I don't know, Hunter Biden's laptop, right?
Well, we've never seen any of that shit. Or
either.
Nothing meaningful either. Why? So, what is Trump waiting for then, Zeb, in your mind? Just
waiting. Peak interest. Keep driving it. When you had a whole weekend of TPUSA driving that discussion,
that was wild.
Up until you had Gutfeld and Kirk on the last day. I think it was yesterday afternoon, trying to run a cover up on it. So I don't know what the issue was there. There was a switch up kind of towards the end of TPUSA. So I don't know if they got the call or something.
Turning Point USA is what we're talking about. If you don't know, is one of those organizations that will not touch the topic of Israel, or hadn't. Like Charlie Kirk.
They did this weekend.
Even Charlie Kirk was getting in on a little bit. Of course, they noticed this groundswell of organic, anti-Zionist sentiment or suspicion anyway, and now Charlie Kirk's trying to take over that message. I mean, you have Charlie Kirk, you have Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson's gotten involved in this. Lord of the Rings. Sorry for all the X-Files references, but there's another episode where Mulder's source tells him the best place to hide a lie is between two truths. Yeah, good comment. But Charlie Kirk has pivoted. That's weird. Turning Point allowing any of that is, I shouldn't say weird, but certainly different and a break from the norm as far as they're concerned. Yeah. But you have these categories of what you might call influencers, and what I see is there's certain ones that just will not touch the topic of Israel, or they go extremely, like Mark Levine?
Mark Levine.
Fucking did his Netanyahu interview. So Levine is very happy about this and is like, let's move on from the Epstein shit. Everyone that says drop it seems to be either working for Israel or connected to them somehow, and everyone that's like, no, I want to know more, either doesn't care about Israel or has started to become suspicious. And that is exactly what Tucker pointed out. Go ahead.
No, that's what I was going to say. That's what Tucker pointed out is there's just too much suspicion. Too much suspicion between all this. There is a lie between two truths there. Just we got to figure out what the lie was and what the truths were. That's what I mean. This was supposed to be very transparent and everything. And man, I mean, it doesn't change how, it doesn't change a whole bit. It's just,
I think the real answer.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, keep talking. Finish your thought.
I think the whole thing is it's not going to change how people see how he's running the country, but it's going to see whether or not he's becoming a damn politician. He's trying to hide things that he said that were there. Now he's saying they're not. And that even throws the suspicion back to were there actually barrels of enriched uranium in
the wild fucking clusterfuck of a mystery.
Yeah, because it all ties together. I mean,
and Tucker Carlson is not innocent. His father was. I don't mean he's guilty, but I'm saying he's part of this. He's on some side of all of this. It's not entirely clear here yet, but let's just take a quick look. So if you haven't seen this, you know what we're talking about. This is at this Turning Point USA event.
Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of Intel Services, probably not American. And we have every right to ask, on whose behalf was he working? How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan? Where did all the money come from? And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things, murdered a bunch of people, participated in the murder of a sitting U.S. president. It's got a whole trail of crimes. That doesn't make me a disloyal American. It doesn't make me anti-American in any sense. I was born here. My family's been here for hundreds of years. I love this country. That's why I live here. So criticizing the behavior of a government agency does not make you a hater. It makes you a free person. It makes you a citizen. You're allowed to do that because you're not a slave. You're a citizen. And you have a right to expect that your government will not act against your interests, and you have a right to demand that foreign governments not be allowed to act against your interests. That's not creepy. It shouldn't be forbidden. And yet all of us have trained ourselves to believe that you can't say that somehow, that that's like too naughty and forbidden. And the effect of making that off limits has been to create a lot of resentment, and I'll say it, hate online, where people feel like they can't just say, like, what the hell is this? You have the former Israeli prime minister living in your house. You
that part is true. I don't
have had all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of a foreign government? By the way, every single person in Washington, D.C. thinks that. I've never met anyone who doesn't think that. I don't know any of them that hate Israel, but no one feels they can say that. Why? And I think the longer that we play along with it, the more subterranean and creepy and hateful the conversation actually becomes. So I think it's better just to say it right out loud. Did this happen? And of course that question has been asked to the government of Israel, and their answer is, we're not going to tell you. And I think our answer should be, no. As long as we're sending you money, if you were committing crimes on our soil, we have an absolute right to know, did you do this or not?
Amen.
And yet everybody has been so brainwashed into thinking that's somehow an expression of hate or bigotry, when it's not. It's a baseline question that every U.S. citizen has a right to an answer on.
So you get the idea. I agree. Like, I don't agree with everything Tucker Carlson says, and I don't trust him in the sense that I don't trust anybody that seems to have it, like, in the same way I don't trust Epstein. But he is right. Okay, so the way I see this, this is not my original thought, but a lot of people online will say we have a foundation myth. Every culture has a foundation myth, and our current American, and I know there's the revolution and the literal foundation of the country, which is kind of what we try to talk about at the beginning of this show, to move that back, to make that our foundation myth. It's a much better one. But we all, I saw this great tweet. It was a term from the Etruscans used to use. I'll see if I can find it while I'm talking. It's some Latin term. But this concept of a period of time for when a major event happens until the last living person who remembers that event dies. Right? And so, yes, we can always look back into history 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. But as far as the current oldest living person, we have this foundational period we go back to, and that's right around World War II. And this, in World War II, the narrative of which is, of course, the Holocaust, and that's where this idea originates from, where you cannot criticize Israel. It's really like, and I mean, I grew up this way and nobody had any problem with it. And sort of the stuff Tucker's talking about, as the people who were directly there are starting to die or, move further from it, we have this opportunity now, and I think we need a new foundation myth. And one very strong direction that's going organically is now the foundation of our world is that Israel, or some sort of Zionist group of people, they're the ones who won World War II. And they set themselves up as this perpetual victim, so victimized that you can't even question it. I'm not saying the Holocaust wasn't real or anything like that. I'm just talking about that is the foundation. Don't laugh.
That's anti-Semitic, John.
It's anti-Judaic.
Well, but this is the problem. But
you see what I'm saying?
These words. Yeah. They want to dismiss the argument itself. But I would even counter your assertion that it kind of dies with the people of the later generations. I mean, what is a second and third generational Holocaust survivor, right? They're trying to elongate that period of time.
Well, something like I saw somebody asked Grok how what percentage of people live till 80 or something like that, and it was 20%. Said what percentage of Holocaust survivors live till 80, and it was like 90%. Yeah. There's more Holocaust survivors now. Well, it's just because people are scumbags and scam the system doesn't necessarily mean that it didn't happen or anything like that, but maybe not the way we thought it did. But that's a conversation for another time. I think this whole spiritual...
I DM'd you, there's that Tucker clip was the first day. And then the back end of the second day, I DM'd you a clip. If you want to play that, it's like 1 minute. That is on the back of even Charlie Kirk kind of diving into that realm that Tucker just came out of. And him and Charlie Kirk and Gutfeld kind of get into that a little bit and try to cover it up on the back end of TPUSA. So everybody got a call kind of mid convention here. You don't have to pull it up.
I was trying to find this fucking word, but I can't find it. So let me get to my DMs.
Excuse me.
You good? Maybe.
But I mean, yeah, it's just like Tucker was talking about, they just want to throw words around, so they don't want to have the discussion. It's not that they believe you are anti-Semitic; it's that they don't want to have the conversation, because once they have the conversation, then it kind of opens them up to actually being wrong.
That's what I was
just going to say. For them to not be wrong, they don't engage in the conversation.
It exposes them.
You're talking about this video?
It exposes them.
This video?
Yes.
Alrighty. Get some volume.
It's like the election of Trump is like you wanted your parents to buy you a car for your 16th birthday, and you got the car, but maybe it's not the right color, so you stop whining. This is like the best thing that's ever happened to our political system in ages. This is a party, this is a movement that is so transparent that even their cover-ups are transparent. They're not even trying. It's like everything that you've seen is one collective wink. It's like, dude, yeah, we get it. You know, Epstein was probably a honeypot operation, but it's like a CIA thing. You know, it sucks. But the way I look at it is that, again, with the Christmas analogy, you got everything you wanted. You're not going to get everything, but you're going to get to see how it's made, and you know what's going on. You may not know who's stopping that, but what's important for you to know is right now the Democrats, this is all they have. All of a sudden, CNN is now covering Epstein. Didn't do it before. And you'll start seeing these like liberal alignments because they want the fractions. They want people to break apart. You don't want to give them that. So even when there's certain things that are happening that are upsetting to you, you have to step back, look at the big picture. Don't lose sight of the changes that you're experiencing.
Don't believe your lying eyes, John.
The election of Trump is like
Sorry. Sulfur Slinger, the reason the list won't get released is the same reason why we bombed Iran and the same reason we never got a Fort Knox inspection. Trump got the call. I should have had that meme ready. The call. Answer and answer. Yeah, I just wanted to play one more clip from the TPUSA thing.
Just to respond to that
respond to
super
that.
chat real quick. I mean, even on its face, the Fort Knox stuff just died because nobody mentioned it. Even on its face, the Iran stuff died like next day because it was just over with. The Epstein stuff hasn't died, and Donald Trump keeps talking about it. This is a major difference that should be noted. If they wanted to die, they wouldn't bring it up.
Who was it Laura Ingraham, right? Who did this goofy clap for Epstein thing that backfired massively? You know what I'm talking about?
Megyn Kelly.
Megan, yeah.
No, it wasn't Megyn Kelly, I promise.
You sure?
Yeah, clap
Oh,
for...
boy.
Well, I think, though, maybe yeah, okay, so this clip is, I want a super long one.
Was it Laura Ingraham?
Yeah, I got it here.
Killing me, John. Megyn Kelly did something, too.
She did, too, but so at the end of this, she says, clap if you don't care about this, and nobody claps and they start booing. And she thinks they misunderstood her. And then, it's if you're sad, just fucking watch it. But what I'm saying is, watch her face at the end of this. I think she's genuinely surprised.
How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap.
Nobody.
Okay, I told you to clap. You guys aren't listening. I'm not going to grade you on a curve. So I was going to get to that. How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
Wow.
See her face? Now watch it all one more. She's like, what? Yeah.
Well, I wonder why they edited the audio.
You can clap.
You wonder why what?
Satisfied with
They
the
edited
results
audio.
of-
They
with
took out the
results of
background noise for some reason.
Her face again right here. She goes, what? And then she has another one. She's like, holy shit. Whoa.
Yeah.
So maybe they really did think Trump just saying everybody shut up would work. I think this caught people off guard, and that's interesting. But this TPUSA crowd is a bunch of young college kid age people. Chat, Megyn Kelly Wood. Holy shit. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, Trump, so the reason I brought up Sundance earlier, his theory is that Trump is kept isolated, sort of from the average person's thoughts. And it's very possible that was a genuine statement, and they kind of lied to him saying that this will work great. He got ratioed for the first time ever on Truth Social, so more comments than likes. I guess maybe we should just pull that big tweet up here, but
Maybe we should go over to Truth Social and Chimp instead of on X. You think Elon censors Trump's X feed?
like responses and stuff. What do you mean by
just what it shows him, just like his algorithm?
I can't go to it without a friggin' account. All right, we'll do it this way. and get in that window. Thank you. And that is going to be this guy. Okay, so Trump gets ratioed. Defending Pam Bondi. Where's the damn actual tweet? Or truth or whatever the fuck they call it. Here we go. So Trump says, what's going on with my... There's a category of people that think Trump is sending coded messages, and I happen to be one of them. I'm not saying necessarily this message, but you'll see there's a lot of capitalization and quotes and things like that. So you can read into that how you want. But what's going on with my quote-unquote boys, and in some cases gals? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. That was kind of a what the fuck. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. So that's where people are saying, oh, Epstein's still alive. He's telling us Epstein is still alive. Maybe, maybe not. 4 years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more? They created the Epstein files. Interesting. Just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. And now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. That's another part that's kind of like, all right, interesting. Don't want to do that if you're not full of shit. Why didn't all these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? Fair question. If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? The problem with that statement is, well, why not release it now then? They haven't even given up on the John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King Jr. files, no matter how much success we have had securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons. It's never enough for some people. We are about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years. And we have so much more to do. We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. That's true. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. I mean, that is a pretty strong statement that we all have a problem with. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen. Agreed. They tried to do the same thing in 2024. Agreed. That's what she is looking into as AG and much more. The problem with that statement is she did this whole file and binder shit. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about, also creating problems. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And then do they show? They don't show the comments. But he did get ratioed on this for the first time in history. So, thoughts on that, gentlemen?
41,000 replies.
Something like that. Something like that. What are your thoughts on that? Anyone?
My thoughts are Pam Bondi may possibly be doing a good job. But the problem is it would be the exact same good job whether it was anybody else. The FBI is going to do their work regardless. She just gets credit for it. And so the problem is when you say day one, I'm going to release the Epstein files, and you don't release the Epstein files, are we grading on a curve here? Like, what's a good job?
And CIA, FBI, they're just playing games with each other. They're back and forth playing games with each other, just like it's always been. My question is, what do we gain from the Epstein files? What do we gain from it?
Well,
what do we...
Trump has control.
I'm playing like a devil's advocate here.
If Trump has control of them, then he can now make these people do what he wants.
What does that gain? What do we gain from
That's my position, John.
Well, you would pass through legislation you want to pass through. You just get all these. Like Trump endorsed Lindsey Graham recently, which caught us all by surprise.
Yes. Well,
no, it didn't.
It didn't catch you by surprise? Why not?
No.
Why not, Zeb?
He's never questioned Lindsey Graham a day in his life.
I know, but It's fucking weird.
Does anybody ever question him?
I don't know.
Everybody
Lindsey
but
Graham
Trump.
has like carte blanche to run wherever
Yeah.
he wants to and spend whatever money he wants to.
Yeah, why? And I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, that was my question. Just throwing a question out there. What good does it do if we do, if they are released? So what? If they're not released, so what? We'll never know the truth.
What good
we
it
haven't known
does
the
is
truth
it-
about
is it-
anything in how fucking long?
Yeah, none of this shit.
How fucking long has it been since we've known the truth about one thing our government's ever done for us?
It's
Be it
infuriating.
something stupid as Epstein files, clean back to the three boys on the grassy knoll that are buried out in the desert somewhere with unmarked graves.
Chat, feel free to chime in.
What
here.
good it does? I mean, other than just the truth being out there and being able to
Yeah.
reflect on reality as it ought to be. I think your chat's frozen, John.
Yeah,
But I think the same thing. I mean, I'm on the political side of it, where yes, if it's not released, people are going to get their way. They're going to vote a certain way on a certain bill, that kind of shit. I agree with that. But I just had to throw that question out. What good does it do us sitting here?
Well, I mean, when
in
you
this
pull the rats out of
studio?
the tunnel and you see who's actually the rat, I mean,
Oh, I know.
it kind of helps a little bit there.
And see, I think he should release it. I think, the bullshit should be brought out so that we know what's going on. That's what he wanted us to know. I want to know all the corruption bullshit, but we'll never know it. I thought we were going to get it, but
I mean, imagine
apparently not.
the craziest of the crazy conspiracy theorists being proven true instantly.
Scary, isn't it? Scary.
Is there any conspiracies that haven't turned out to be true?
Just the ones that are sitting in limbo waiting on Epstein files.
Yeah, waiting on the next news cycle to come around.
I do think, and circling back to Butler and all the other stuff that has happened, and how I think it seems pretty obvious that Trump has been under attack since 2015 or whatever. I don't really lose anything by waiting just a little bit longer, but I think for me and a lot of other people is, how much patience do we have left on this? The Epstein thing is, again, it's nothing to do with Epstein. I'm not sitting here specifically wanting this one person, Jeffrey Epstein, to face justice.
No.
It's more about what that all implies, and I think Tucker said it pretty well, is that a foreign government has a lot of control in our government, maybe more than the president himself does. Sundance talks about this as well. Trump is in maybe a tough spot because he's not completely in control, mainly of our intelligence community, the CIA and that stuff. But he cannot admit that.
And see, I think that's why we haven't found out any more about that shooter from Butler, PA. 3 days later, he's cremated. He's gone. Everything's gone. There's another. That adds to the history books of conspiracies, just like JFK. That falls right in line with JFK.
It's a tough spot. Yeah, well said. I'm just not changing the subject, and this is why I said Elon might be a little better at politics than we give him credit for. But it feels like he's being pressured to talk about this because his enemies know he has some plan that he wants to do with this, and they're trying to rush this release or something. They're trying to force his hand. And ignoring everything else and how bad this looks, that statement, again, is a pretty strong statement of let her do her job. She's doing what I want her to do. I don't care what you think it looks like. Just give it some time, and let's focus on this other stuff. Oh, you still there's a...
Yeah, I'm muting myself. I mean, he's asking for blind trust, which is the issue. It's not that
That
we
is
don't
tough,
trust
man,
Trump.
especially
We
given
don't blind trust Trump.
what he's asking on it for. Now, has he earned it a little bit one time? Even if the answer to that is no, fuck are we going to do in the next, what can we do besides wait?
Well, I mean, obviously the chimping out on X and probably True Social sways a little bit.
Maybe that
Right.
will surprise him that this is actually organic. You have these idiots like, I shouldn't say idiots, but Cat Turd is a big one. Can't stand that guy.
He's an idiot. Just call it what it is.
And then you have other, what I think are actually smart people who are just paid by the administration to be Trump cheerleaders, and they're also not touching Israel or anything like that. It's weird, man. It's weird. This is I don't know. I think it's fair to admit that. I think that's one of the hardest things to admit. What what the fuck is going on? Like, this is officially the first thing that's happened in at least this term, which is fairly new. It's 6 months in, 7 months in, getting something like that. It's tough, man. But there's no better option than Trump to trust. I don't 100% blindly trust Trump. And it's a little offensive how we're being told to shut the fuck up. In the way I see it is these representatives, right? That's a key word, of which Trump is one. This is a two-way street. And if you want us to shut the fuck up, I think you can treat us like adults and you can craft some kind of, even white lie that just gives everybody...
Or just give us something to satisfy the thirst for a little bit.
I was looking over the chat
this is what I was telling the guys Friday. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't really make sense to me sometimes, but then it kind of flushes itself out like within a day or two. I mean, this is something that doesn't make sense, and it's not gonna make sense for another, like I said, another month or two. It's probably 4, right? I mean, if this is a midterm play, it's an extremely early midterm play. And kind of bouncing off what you said earlier, is they're trying to force his hand. Why are they trying to force his hand so early? Maybe they won't. Maybe they want it to be that early of a midterm play.
Get it over with.
Get it over with, right? And trying to pass it by. So I don't know, but if he wants us to keep kind of quote unquote trusting, we deserve something.
I was reading some of the
anything.
chats, and some of those guys on there saying about Pam Bondi. And yeah, I maybe she is a little in over her head, playing in the big boys' playground and not playing on the girls' side of that playground.
Trump is being like,
maybe
she is doing what I want.
I know.
And also,
so that's what I'm saying.
Trump's got a blonde chick weakness. So
yeah, he does.
Pam Bondi also, it's worth mentioning, not necessarily germane to what we're talking about, but she's Trayvon Martin. She was that whole bullshit in Florida. Of course, you got Ron DeSantis in Florida. Ron DeSantis definitely wants to be president.
Yes.
There was this floating, Pam Bondi's going to get fired and DeSantis would make a great replacement. I was like, hey, Ron. Nice comment, Ron. He's definitely positioning himself for 2028. I think he has a lot of support. I think Elon may be involved in that now, if we want to assume he's genuinely pissed off.
DeSantis?
Yeah. That Elon didn't get what he wanted, so now he's backing this DeSantis group. And that's also kind of from Sundance. Again, don't believe everything you read, but
why not?
Sundance been doing this for a long time, and that's sort of the story he's telling. That this DeSantis faction is positioning itself for 2028. I see a super chat here, but it didn't
I can see
show
that.
up. Laughing Dog, thank you. 20 memberships. If your name just turned green, send a thank you to Laughing Dog. A lot of you guys. I think it's chat. Did this shit not showing up again? No, it's gone. It's just a little bit behind. Lord of the Reed, trust the plan or you're woke right. Yeah, exactly. So that's what gets offensive about this. And some of these people, these mouthpieces for Trump, which I'm not saying in a negative way, by the way. People have jobs. They're soldiers. But yeah, it's insulting. They're like, shut up, pussies. And it's like...
Well, the insulting part is that they are bandwagon Trumpers. They're 2024 Trumpers. I mean, these were never Trumpers in 2016. I mean... We've been fighting this war for 8 years until they jumped on the bandwagon. Now they're MAGA, and now it's like, oh, you guys that have been around forever, you're not real MAGA. You're woke, right? It's
That's
like,
dude. So we talk about
who are you?
Yeah, that story. I think the story as a unit, as a physical concept, is very important, and that's before this war turns hot, if it ever will. Revolution with guns and tanks and shit, which I'd like to avoid. Yeah. But we could say we're in a Cold War, I think. And it's, people say propaganda, but I think you can reduce that more simply to it's a war of stories. And I mean, again, this is a story, right? And he's like, believe this story. And then you have other people saying, believe this story. And other people, Tucker Carlson, believe this story. Go ahead.
It's marketing and advertising. That's all it is.
It's fighting a war without having to fire bullets, but
propaganda, if you will.
Yes, yeah, exactly. The problem is Trump's story is doesn't make sense.
Doesn't hold water.
Doesn't make sense. Yes.
And it's not just, Zed, you're right. So you have these new people trying to usurp the MAGA movement, trying to position themselves as if they've always been there. Or you have people that have been there for a long time but are clear, like Ian Miles Chong, that fucking guy. Right? So he has his story, and it's hilariously bullshit.
Well, the grifters are a different breed entirely.
But there's people who are not grifters, but whose job it is to just say, trust Trump, trust the plan, every other letter capitalized, that sort of shit. And we are, the three of us in this chat, are not in that category. But we want to be. And that's the group of people I think that's being ignored is, hey, we're not blackpilling and we're not anti-Trump. I'm sitting here saying I'm looking for any reason at all to stop being stressed out about this. I want to trust the plan. There was a great tweet, trust the plan? Sure, no problem. What's the plan? Shut the fuck up. That's what it feels like.
Yep.
And I'm not saying I should, need to be invited into some fucking Oval Office meeting or anything, but like, give me something that I can believe enough to repeat because I believe it. But I won't if I don't believe it. I ain't gonna do that.
Nope.
So
I mean, I will say this is like the slowest 6 months in politics history that I can remember.
Yeah,
slowest meaning there's so much happening that it slows time down. I mean, dude, it's been 6 months since he's taken the presidency.
He's got 3.5 years left. I mean, a lot can still happen. That tends to, help me be a little more patient, I guess.
Korea's going to kick up.
But again, this ain't going to go away. So are we entering false flag territory? Are we going to declare war on somebody? Will some building blow up? I mean, that will be a big warning sign is if something fucking happens and they try to dive headlong into the distraction as if that's the main thing. So what again is interesting to me about this kind of thing is he's saying don't talk about it, but he mentions it 6 times. He has some stuff in there that clearly the more conspiratorial schizos will be like, Epstein's still alive. And maybe he is. Maybe he is.
Elvis is.
Excuse me, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like anybody saying one way or the other definitively, 100% Trump blind trust, or this means Trump fucked little kids. I don't believe either of those. And I certainly do know for a fact that we don't have enough information.
No.
There's enough weird shit, Axios being involved, the Elon split and all that shit. Certain influencers calling for disclosure, certain influencers never mentioning Israel. That's another way this story has been framed, by the way, is the pro-Trump people, the shills, are trying to say, don't listen to these other fake MAGA influencers. And I'm like, this isn't some group of people with large accounts. It's fucking everybody, like the Laura Ingraham clip. It's they're in denial, I think, that it's a big problem. It's a problem for me.
And they're scared.
Yeah. It's not I mean, yes, the human trafficking and child abuse thing is terrible, and that pisses me off, and I do just about anything I could to stop that. But even further than that, it still implies that there is this foreign influence who uses children in this way, which is really bad. And it's like, nah, we need to get rid of that. To me, it's the same as deportation. You're deporting illegal aliens. Let's also deport any sort of illegal influence we have in the government.
Yep.
I don't know.
I agree with that. And that is the problem.
I'm not pro deportation of traitors, but.
Well, I'm honestly with you, Zeb. I don't think we should let any of these people escape. That's kicking the can down the road. Nobody wants to be the monster that we need.
I will.
Well, I mean, actually, some of us do. But you. So this is politics. You start going out and Vlad the Impalering everybody, then normal people are gonna get mad at you. So you can't. You got to work your ways up to that.
But I mean.
We're not quite at it. We're at like 0.2 in impalation.
Normal people will just sit by during the revolution, just like they sit by during.
Believe it or not, that's what happened in the American Revolution.
Yeah.
What was the participation rate? It was not high.
No.
Most people.
And then their farms got burnt down. Anyway.
But I'm sure they all took credit for it afterwards. Since it tends to go. So that's the thing for me is I think the three of us and there's everybody, and I mean it might seem kind of goofy to say getting on the internet and speaking your mind is meaningful, but it is. I think it's creating statements
Therapy, too.
Like this. I mean, the American population that is pro-America in a sense can be thought of as a very powerful political person. And the way that we get neutralized is when they get us all disorganized so that we don't have a common thought. But this is very left and right is like, nah, I want to know what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
So now these literal people like Trump and Bondi and Patel and Bongino are, for the first time I think I can remember, dealing with a cohesive, unified body, which is the American voters that are powerful for a change. That's interesting, I think.
Yeah.
You agree with me or
I
not?
like the way you put that too.
Thanks, man.
I do. I like the way that was put.
But let me take a quick look at the time here. We're at about an hour. So
yeah.
we are going to do live call-ins here. I don't want to quite get to that yet, but get your thoughts ready on call-ins about Epstein and things like that. And as per usual, we'll have to boot Zeb. But
do you think, I mean, it's obviously a flaw of Trump to kind of defend somebody he put in that position. I guess we're noting Pam Bondi here, but just as a general, if he bashes an appointment that he made, it's a take on him. So, I mean, that's a flaw he has, but do you think he would sacrifice that?
I mean, I think if he threw her under the bus, everybody'd be fine with it at this point.
I think so too.
Yeah.
He was being set up to throw her under the bus, and he did this, which is he put her behind the wheel of the bus and drove it over us, I guess. This is what it feels like, But
And maybe he's hoping that she rises above this. And
I don't know what it's about, but clearly he wants her in that spot, and that's his decision. If he could remove her right now, any point, for any reason.
Did we find out whether or not Bongino did walk today?
I don't know. I'll take a look here. Let's find that out before we take calls.
Because that's I'm kind of interested in that. I was kind of interested.
I mean, Bongino has no choice to walk. I mean, he has to.
He has to. I mean, he's thrown it all out there.
The stupidest fucking. He's considering resigning.
That's the last I saw too.
Yeah, I saw that like 5 hours ago.
Yeah.
It's also CNN. Deputy FBI Director Bongino has told people he is considering resigning. Sources familiar with the matter, so I immediately start ignoring those articles. But I have learned to look for that. That also could be part of the game. I mean, maybe Bongino isn't thinking about leaving at all, or maybe this was always part of the plan, and this is drama being created. I don't fucking know. I don't know anymore. It doesn't make sense. The story does not make
story
sense.
they threw into the pipe, flush it down,
does
and see
seem
what comes out on the other end.
Bongino is particularly exposed to all of this because of the way he conducted himself vis-a-vis Epstein leading up to being appointed. I mean, that was his brand.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And
maybe all these stories are just that. Flush it down the pipe and see what comes out on the other end. And see who grabs it and runs with it and what they do with it.
Responded to your email. I'll try to check that email here in a second. It's a little tough for me to run a show and chat and also check emails at the same time, but I will try. So I don't know. Final sort of closing down thoughts before we take a quick break and then we take live calls. And let's start with you, Zeb, since you're the one getting booted.
He's booted.
Final thoughts? I don't know, man.
Predictions.
I think we don't have a choice but to sit and wait. I mean, I can't go find the Epstein files myself. So
how long are you
that's
willing?
What we're gonna do.
How long are you willing to wait?
I mean, it depends on what happens. I mean, I think, like I said, I think it's a really early midterm play if it's a midterm play, and so I'm perfectly willing to wait like 4 months, which I mean sounds astronomical for some people.
They'll come fast.
So we'll see. It'll happen fast, and when it does happen, it'll blow up. So I don't know. I mean, midterms roll around and we still don't have Epstein files. That's a problem. Kind of my thoughts on that. I'm just waiting on Elon Musk to throw Grok inside of the Optimus Tesla robot so we can see what happens on that end.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that in detail. Fucking Will Stancil.
The most entertaining timeline. That's what I'm after.
Dr. Tetanus, why are you guys still talking about this? It's a joke. He's being funny. Blue, over a year now. think you were last time. So, Dr. Tetanus, always good to have you. Great comment.
But yeah,
I don't want to continue some drama if it really is bad for Trump, but I just need something, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got to give us something.
Yeah, we need
like something, dude. Like we've got nothing.
Take 5 minutes to come out.
Not only have we got nothing, but we got a photo op flashed in our face.
The binders
to just make fun of us. It's not that we haven't gotten anything. They're making fun of us is what they're doing.
Well, that even is a little bit weird, those binders, because I know several of those guys are not very happy. I think they did kind of get.
Well, they're not happy because they don't want to apologize. And so they have to come off as if, oh, I didn't know. Sorry, I led you on wrong, but I'm not going to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's their fault.
So that's that's Posobiec and Mike Cernovich and those people.
Liz Wheeler, DC Drano, yeah.
We meant to lie to you, but we're not sorry for lying to you.
Yeah, no, these people will never apologize.
That's it. That's all it is.
They have started talking about Israel, though, so that's a change. I think
they don't have a choice.
Well,
everybody talks about Israel. Israel's in every conversation, every topic, every issue.
And I think this is Charlie
Israel.
Kirk's play, too. He don't have a choice.
John Galt has some great... Oh, I see your comment now. I do remember you. That was Cider House, I believe. So I'll talk to those guys. They didn't ever respond to you. Okay, I'm with you now. I do remember this. Yeah, or we can if you have thoughts on this. But I think we're there. We're gonna take our little 5-minute or so break. If you can consider this the communion portion of the mass.
Communion, yes. I'll pass the plate around. We'll be back.
Cigarette of Christ, smoke of Christ. Jesus, I was raised Catholic. It was.
I was gonna say you better watch.
Start standing and sitting and kneeling and shit too. God, that fucking Catholic mass was wild, bro. Really big on the spirituality, though. I'd like it. Dr. Tetanus, if I missed it and you talked about it, I just came in. But what did you guys think of Tucker at Turning Point? Yeah, we did play that video. But I would say I kind of agree with Tucker's.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah.
I'm not ready to go Fourth Reich or anything.
No. But he had.
I'm not ready to go Grok. I'm not ready to follow Grok in once more into the breach, dear Groks. But
we're going iRobot.
Again, my personal thoughts on this, and I've never fought in a World War II type situation or stormed the beaches of Normandy, but I certainly feel like I've seen and read and watched enough to know that we don't want that. Like if you can get a resolution without getting to that point, that's a lot better.
Yeah.
At the same time, part of me feels like cleansing the planet in a holy fire.
I guess,
wouldn't be such a bad
definitely
thing
don't
either.
Want anything like that because I got grandkids coming up and
it's a big part of it too, man. I remember being a little kid and thinking, why the fuck doesn't any of these adults do anything about all this stupid shit? And I don't want to become one of those adults. So
yep, I watched the hostage crisis, all of that. I remember. I mean, I was a little boy, but I still remember seeing the Vietnam War on the news and all that
shit you've seen, bro.
Man, so
you fought in World War I.
Spanish American
for the Huns, for the Germans. All right, that's enough rambling. It is 5:15, which will leave us about 45 minutes to take calls. Thank you, Zeb Boykin, for joining us as always. There you can see he's got very well positioned there. You can find him on YouTube, Rumble, and X, Zeb Boykin. I strongly encourage you to check out his content. It is high quality and fantastic. You live stream what, every day? Almost every day?
Almost every weekday. Sometimes I'll do weekends, but
and
yeah, every weekday 2:30, 2:45.
And if anybody who is already a delegate or would like to be one ever wants to be in Zeb's position on a Zoom call and join us for the first hour, I'm sure he wouldn't mind a Sunday break for a change. He's been helping us out, fill out that third spot. If you're in central Pennsylvania, you can also come by Studio Center and sit right next to the Deacon if you want. We just have a bit of a process to make sure you're not an insane person. But anyway, Zeb, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to boot you out of Zoom so we can open up the phone. But before we put that number up, we are going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
She said, I'm a feminist man, I'm a fucking man-eater. When I'm not in theater class, I'm blasting through glass ceilings. My feelings are so seriously real, they are my steering wheel. I'm steering clear of any gentleman who get near me. You hear me? I said, yep, I've got it and I don't want it. I'm off it, I'm moving on. I'ma find it behind 100 pounds like I'm a liberal man, I'm a fucking Spanish teacher. Me llamen no huevo, dime, dame la vega. Tu madre me quiere, quiere, gigante, I got it. You want picante, I got it. You want tejano, you want it by the bottle. I said, yep, I got it, and I don't want it. I'm off it, I'm moving on. I'ma find it behind 100 pounds lighter. Well, that ignited a fire inside her eye of the tiger. Don't wanna die, so I fly, but I leave a Snickers for the beast. 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 Peace, beast, eat your Snickers. Leave a Snickers for the beast. 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 Peace, beast, eat your Snickers.
An oldie but a goodie. Snickers for the Beast. Leave a Snickers for the Beast off of Feels Good Man album, the first album.
I like Snickers.
Alrighty.
Snickers, chips.
I'm going to have to... Producing and doing everything all at once becomes frustrating. Wrong thumbnail as always. Let me just fix this, and then we will take some calls by Zoom. There we go. Little games and theory.
Get their number up.
From Starship Troopers, there's Johnny Rico.
Johnny.
Reminds me of myself sometimes, especially his final score on his math. But alrighty, hey, you wanna shut that fan off?
What fan? Yeah.
And then I'll throw the number up. So we are talking bottom half here, American Sermon. Last 45 minutes or so of the show, we will take live calls. We'll try to keep them fairly brief, but if you get on a real good run, we're happy to listen to you, maybe about 10 minutes or so. Epstein, what's going on with Trump? Theories, predictions, just need to vent and get it off your chest. Anything like that, by all means. Give us a call at 814-400-4188. 814-400-4188. Thoughts on Epstein, Trump? Are you still believing we have a chance? Have you totally given up? Anything you want.
We always have a chance.
Even if you want to troll.
We just have to believe.
If you troll, I'll probably hang up, but I'll try not to. I'll try not to.
Behave yourself.
So I know we're on a little bit of a delay, but 814-400-4188. Give us a call. Give us your thoughts on Epstein. We'll go till about 6 o'clock or until people are done raging.
We run out of time.
People are done raging about it. Yeah.
Rage on, please.
Well, we're waiting. I think all.
Oh yeah. How is Orange Cat? How is BOC?
Orange Cat is very good, and Black Cat Matters is also doing good.
Good.
I've been meaning to bring them in here for a show.
I have not seen them for a while. That's why I asked.
You have a pig now.
I've had a pig almost a year now. Yep. Miss Wilma.
What is going on, Linda Plick? What's up, fellas? Let me actually pull up the chat here while we're waiting.
Chat, yeah. Hello, Linda Love.
A lot of X chats today, which is cool
everybody.
to see. Tommy, that is Dodger. The logo you were looking at behind the chat was made by Dodger. Incredible job. Thank you again. I highly encourage you to follow him. Johnny Victorious, been very active on X lately.
I just started following Johnny on X.
Smart guy, good thoughts, good dude. So it's cool to see all of you. Plick, so like I said, good to see you again. Linda, of course, our moderator, brings down the hammer. Spearhand, welcome back. Vakrin Hart 4, welcome back. The OG TLT. What's the number again? I'll pull it up. 814-400-4188. 4188. I know that's a little confusing. 4188. I guess I could just type it in the chat. But if we're currently talking to somebody, you'll get a hold message. That is the best way. So just it's going to be pure luck of the draw. But we'll talk to you as long as you want to vent or anything like that. I feel like everyone's so mad now.
I know. They're upset over everything.
I don't have my phone calls muted or something. There we go.
Jesus.
All righty. Area code 360. You are on the air with 3CC. What's going on?
Hey, John, long-time watcher, first-time caller. I just want to say I was in the military for a while, and I worked for the communications guys. And I was looking a lot into influence operations, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. There's a whole bunch of DoD think tanks, and that's what they do is they figure out how to get people's attention, keep it, and get people talking about what they want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And if people want to know, it's kind of easy to look into. And then there's the technical side, which is kind of the stuff that I dabbled in, which is the electronics, like how to post it on the internet and how to get the channels set up and stuff like that. And I just think it's fascinating because a lot of stuff you're talking about is influence operations. And I don't think enough people know that they spend a lot of time and money doing all that shit.
That's a great point. So what's your read on this then, in terms of what is an influence operation and what isn't, and maybe who's behind which part of it?
I would say that basically everything you're going to see on both sides is somewhat funded or dabbled in, or they kind of push the influencers, the main influencers, in the right direction, and then they echo that using their little bots. So most of the articles you read on the internet are actually written by bots. I can't remember the original statistic. It's pretty high, more than half.
I believe it.
So they'll have one person say it, and then they have all their media outlets kind of echo it. And repetition is truth to a lot of people. So this influence spectrum, full court press of this is true, it must be true, don't question it too much. And a lot of it is, what are they not talking about?
Right.
I mean, they just pushed a huge bill to open up the sales of DNR and a whole bunch of public land for sale so that they could log it and strip mine it and stuff like that. And I'm like, who's going to buy that? They're not talking about that on the news. So now we sold basically the interior of the United States to China to pay off our debt leverage. And everybody's going, oh, well, the Epstein list. So, yeah, you wanted to vent, so that's me venting.
No, this is a great...
I do know the Epstein list didn't delete itself.
Yeah, great. This is a great call and great insight. And so you, with whatever amount you're allowed, you said you were in the military working on this. Is when?
I have 2 tours, and I work kind of indirectly with some of the. How do I put this? When we were in Afghanistan, we spent a lot of time with the special forces in the little villages. And they went in and they propped up the drug czars and displaced the tribal leaders. So originally, like the Taliban, they weren't terrorists. They were just the name for the militia in Afghanistan.
Right.
And the militia worked for the tribal leaders, and the CIA didn't like that. So they went in, displaced all the tribal leaders, and then they put drug czars in place. And so that was kind of my first exposure to the media. Didn't tell the truth at all about the war. And then I went to Iraq when they pushed through. And originally, people don't remember this, but we spent tons and tons of money on infrastructure reconstruction. One of the biggest things people never heard about was we replaced a dam generator in northern Iraq. It was a big hydroelectric project, and they shipped this huge generator from like hundreds and hundreds of miles, installed it, powered hundreds of, nobody heard about it. And then they defunded it. They cut all the funding for the civic programs, and all of the casualties skyrocketed. And they never talked about cutting funding on the civic projects. So it's just, what is the media not talking about? That's usually more important than what they are talking about.
Would you say this it's a total distraction from the selling our land to foreign governments and stuff like that? Or is there some...
I mean, that's just an example of what they're not talking about.
Right.
I mean, all you're going to hear is Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. And sure, everybody knows the government is corrupt and they're all evil. And it's just a debate of why and how. But then what are they actually doing at a technical level where the rubber meets the road to screw people?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching politics for more than 10 years now, and you're 100% right. I've accidentally been trained to ask myself that very question anytime anything happens, which is, what is this a distraction from?
Right. And that's even trickled down into state government, especially here.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I can go into
Yeah,
100,000 things there with this state government, So yeah, man, thank you for that call. That's great.
Yeah, I always like to
Happy to call.
Well, but if you're still there, I like to put people on the spot and say, can you make a prediction about what you...
Can I make a prediction?
Where this Epstein stuff will all go?
I think they are scared to put boots on the ground in Israel because that would be the fastest way to build anti-Israeli sentiment. And I know there was another ship sunk in the Red Sea that obviously is not on the news. So I think there's going to be a whole lot of talk. I don't think there's going to be a false flag on American soil because people are primed to not trust Israel. And if they were to push us into a ground war, it wouldn't be in the best interest of DOD because they're recruiting some of the shitter. So I honestly, what I see is the Chinese are going to come in and buy up a lot of U.S. property. It's going to get leveraged to pay off our downgraded, what was our debt rating was downgraded to, I can't remember the actual ratings, but we got downgraded. So we need to build with assets to up it. And that's kind of, I feel like what they're doing.
And
it's going to be financial fuckery is what I see happening.
That's already evident in the pork farms that the Chinese owns out west.
Another thing relevant, I think, is keep an eye on the price of Bitcoin, which is going up. So,
Bitcoin is a CDO. They leverage assets, and they need most of the economy is leveraged assets. It's not real assets. So if you look at the pyramid, it's like gold is the tiny block at the bottom, and then you have real assets like property and farm and agriculture. Then you have infrastructure, and then you have secondary and derivatives. And the derivatives is dwarfs the size of the real value economy, and that's largely buried in Bitcoin. So that's kind of where they're hiding their slush fund of liquidity and pretending, we don't have all this debt that we're leveraging against, and they magically made it disappear in Bitcoin.
Fantastic phone call, man. Thank you very much for calling in. Thank you for having the staff to make a prediction.
Thanks for all you do, John. You're wonderful.
Oh, you're great, man. I hope you call again. Take it easy, buddy.
For sure. Bye.
All righty. 814-400-4188. Give us a call. Give us your thoughts, vent, rage, troll.
Well, that's front line.
We got great callers, man.
That's first hand info right there. I mean, that's great. It makes you think about it too.
That has been going on, the buying up of American land. I was just reading Singapore owns a big part of the Michigan Peninsula, just all this weird shit, and
how much Chinese land do we own? How much other land?
Well, there was this whole drone strike against Russia where suddenly these little fucking buildings opened up in Russia and a bunch of drones flew out and attacked the airport right next to it. Well, guess who owns a lot of land right next to our airports? China.
I know.
I wonder if there's a bunch of drones in
they were trying to buy up all that land out.
It's a huge security risk, man,
right around our Air Force bases and that kind of shit.
All kinds of stuff like that. 814-400-4188 if you want to speak your mind. Let me pull up the chat here real quick while we're waiting. Who have we not said hello to yet? David Olerking, I've seen you here since the beginning. It's always great to see you, man. True independent thinker. Gakata. I don't know if I've seen you before, but welcome. PlayStation 76, welcome. And Fogma 1776 over on Rumble. It is right around 5:30, so maybe something like 3 more really good phone calls. We'll see. We'll hang out as long as we would like. If you need me to throw that number up again, just say so.
I like that.
In the chat.
State of the Union by Homan. Wouldn't that be crazy? Oh, my God.
He was he at Turning Point too? He was going to get in a fight with some fucking kid or something. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you guys are lurkers, so obviously we won't get any phone calls from the lurkers, but if you're out there and want to chat,
you're allowed, call
814-400-4188. I do think moving. Oh, here we go. Hold on. What's the area code here? Area code 636. You are live on 3CC. What's going on?
Hey, it's Lord of the Reed.
Oh, what's up, old friend?
Hey, just giving maybe my steel man, I guess, of
go for it.
Kind of the way Trump reacted is that he wants it to come out. Other people want it to come out, but there's other people that don't think it's important. So he's basically repeating what they've said so that they can see the reaction to see how stupid they sound. And that's maybe far-fetched, but I don't know. That's like a steel man for it.
So you are still very much on board with Trump, believe it's a some sort of plan or operation going on, and you have the patience to wait out and see what happens?
I would say half of that's true. I wouldn't say that I necessarily believe that, but
it's maybe
if it's going to come out, it would be maybe like a year, sometime next year, or maybe like right before the midterms, maybe.
The best available thing to believe, maybe.
Yeah, Steelman. Yeah,
you're certainly not giving up hope yet, though, and I mean I'm not either. Not trying to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, not 100%, but I'm at like 80% right now.
Well, yeah, I think it's fair. Vent a little bit. I mean, what about this is specifically bothering you?
Well, it's, like the people like Cat Turner saying it's not a big deal. It's like, well, we wouldn't be making it a big deal if he didn't make it a big deal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Boy, that Cat Turd, he's...
So... His name is certainly fitting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I mean, 100%. Damn.
He's gotten really tiresome. He also just, anytime anybody goes after him a little bit, he calls him a bot and blocks him. So.
Yeah. Well, it's also tiresome, right?
It's also tiresome. Hey, you still surviving cranking out some music for Inward?
Yep. I got one more. I got the guitars tracked for. Just been a little bit busy with work and some family stuff, but I'm still working on it, so I should be able to send you one probably by next weekend.
I'll be in touch with you here in the next few weeks. I'm still shooting some stuff, but yeah, we're getting close to adding that sort of stuff. And if you guys don't know, I've talked about this mini-series I've been working on. Lord of the Ree has been recording some Hank Williams tracks because the music is now in the public domain. So collaborative effort,
It's funny because I got a copyright strike on one of them.
No.
And then I was like, there is no copyright on this. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right.
You gotta love that.
They always do. The copyright shit on the internet is a clown show. But I'm glad. So you appealed and won?
Yeah, most of the time if you appeal it, they'll be like, oh, yeah, it was just AI being retarded.
Yeah, sounds about right. All right, well, it sounds like you and I and maybe Deacon are kind of in the same boat on this. There's time to wait. It's very early in the term. It's concerning, though. You dropped from 90, 100% down to 80, I think you said.
Yeah, like at first I was pretty pissed off. I even wrote a song about it, sent it to Zeb. He knows the lyrics. It's pretty funny, but it's called Lampposts Exist. It'll be coming out in a couple of weeks probably.
Okay, I was about to ask you. All right, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Send me that link when you post it. Maybe we'll play it on the
for sure.
Any final thoughts or predictions or anything like that before we let you go?
No, just like I said, I think if we have any chance of it coming out, it won't be anytime soon. It'll be whenever they think it's most useful. And depending on who Trump's listening to at the time, that may or may not be correct.
How about this as a final question? Say we get to the end of his 4-year term and it doesn't come out. What would your opinion of Trump be then?
Boy.
Either, and this is like, we know he's in the files. He's probably not on the quote-unquote list, but someone close to him might be.
I've wondered that.
Someone like in his immediate family, perhaps, might be.
Or what about like some foreign leader or even American politician who is a piece of shit, but like Lindsey Graham, we need them to get something done and they have to be protected, that kind of thing?
One of them, someone that's useful to him, or someone that's like close to him, reputationally would bury him if that came out.
God, I hope that's not the case. And if it is, that person better be like curing cancer or something.
Oh yeah.
Well, all I gotta say is Jared Kushner's been awful quiet, hasn't he?
He sure has.
Yeah.
Is he over there in Gaza still?
Who knows at this point? He's probably just on, his own island somewhere. Who knows?
Kushner Island. Holy shit.
Right.
Well, it's always good to have you call in and see you in the chat all the time. And, of course, working on the music. So, yeah, we'll be in touch about that. But great call. Thank you for calling in. Hopefully you can take the rest of your Sunday easy a little bit. I'd like to get you on one of these shows in the future if you're willing.
That'd be cool. And and it's good to have Mojack back.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I just wanted to say
there's a lot more animals in the woods that are alive.
Because you should come out here. We've got Sasquatches, we got the Missouri Momo, we've got all kinds of stuff.
Definitely do that at some point.
Yeah, I'm into that.
All right, world champion, thank you for calling in.
Have a
I'll
good
let
day,
you
man.
go for now. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, buddy.
Yes, sir. God bless.
Take it easy. God bless.
Oh, I go Sasquatch hunting. You're coming along to film.
We're
every
definitely doing that
fucking
at some
piece
point.
of that, man.
Kind of bummed we both got too hammered. Oh, another call already. Let's take it. 254 area code. You were on the air. 3CC. What's going on?
Well, I can't believe I'm talking to John Ward, man. How you guys doing?
No, not too bad. How are you? What are your thoughts?
Good. So I like trolling liberals online, and they're trying to act like they can talk shit about this Epstein stuff. And it's like, I keep telling them, it's like, you guys are Epstein. It's like you guys want open borders that allow for the trafficking of women and children. You want drag queen story hour. You want to you want to mutilate kids' genitals and all these things. So it's like you guys have nothing to say about this. They're acting like, we need to see those files. It's like, you guys are probably in them. So anyway.
The Epstein list is just the Democrats. It's just one line.
Yeah, I'm talking.
All
what's
of them.
that? I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying the list just says Democrats, just all inclusive, all however many millions of them. That's the list.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I think everybody should just make sure to shove it's such a cell phone. They really can't. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. I wanted to ask you, that list of names for the Talcum X song, how did you come up with those names? It's like brilliant. How did you come up with those?
Oh, that's so some of those are existed, I think, before me, like Talcum X, of course. That I think I saw Talcum X trending way back when, and that's what gave me the idea for this song. Some of them I came up with, some of them were already out there, but basically I looked for famous black people and then tried to find a funny way to make their name white, like Bleach Onset.
Yeah, like whenever I see something, like I see some fucking like weird ass like homeless person or a fucking, like black person. I live in a very blue area, so whenever I see somebody, I like try to come up with clever names like that really fast. I'm not very good at it. But anyway,
it's like anything else. You just practice, you get better at it.
Yeah, just go along the homeless strip there and start naming your homeless.
It's like shooting free throws, but more racistly.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, guys.
I'm glad you
I'm
enjoyed
gonna jump off of here.
Yeah,
What's that?
Thank you for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, I'll call in sometime again. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Good to have you. Take it easy. Thank you for pulling the trigger. I know it's a little scary to call in sometimes.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, well, I mean, for them, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Not exactly the nicest guy sometimes. You are, though. So, all righty, let's throw that back up. 814-400-4188. We still got time.
Lots of time.
Plenty of time.
Lots of time.
Thoughts on Epstein, if you want to give them, if you want to rant, if you have theories, predictions especially, or just to shoot the shit.
That whole someone close to him, somebody that he trusts, somebody
that's a very real possibility. Either that it is personal, just like a family member or something, or I think it would be more leaning towards
a political figure.
Yeah, somebody that has a role to play still that he can't quite burn.
Yeah, yeah.
Linda loves heading to the grocery store. Take it easy, Linda.
Have a good day.
We have a valley named after Sasquatch and a cave.
Yep.
Battle of Ape Canyon.
Yep. I just read about that. I just read about the Battle of Ape Canyon yesterday.
I don't know what that is.
Honest to God. These miners. There was miners that had gone back in there to do some mining, and they were staying in a cabin overnight, and they were attacked by Sasquatches. And
multiple.
Yes, and the one miner actually got shots off and hit the one, and it fell down. The report said that it fell down a 400-foot ravine and was unrecoverable. And the miners left everything there. The next day, they left all their shit behind, whatever they had on their backs, and got the hell out of there. Yep.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, to completely change angles on the show. But
I remember. I just read about that the other day. Literally just read about that.
Well, as long as we're waiting.
Because I saw it on Facebook, something I was scrolling by, and I actually stopped and read the story of it, and it was like, wow, no shit, see?
The Ape Canyon attack.
Yep. These things are for real. I'm telling you right now, man, these things are for real. They're not some fucking joke. They're not, yep.
The Ape Canyon attack, born and raised. I'm not going to read this whole thing right now. Interesting.
1924. Washington.
You know, I'm telling you, you know what the most convincing Sasquatch myth I know about is? Is the Billy Ape.
Billy Ape. Bondo Ape.
So this is the subject matter of Michael Crichton's Congo.
Mm-hmm.
The gray gorillas in Africa. So the Billy Ape. Jesus, I'm trying to look at the wrong screen. They have found footprints larger than a gorilla's in the Congo, but they don't look like gorilla prints. They look like chimpanzee footprints, meaning it's like there's some undiscovered species of giant chimpanzee, and there's reported sightings of them being gray. And if there's anywhere on the planet that there is some giant ape that hasn't been discovered, I think it would be in the heart of Africa. And so I think we need to go to the Congo.
Nah. Ain't going to Congo.
I don't.
Congo, I know.
I find it hard to believe that a species of large, hairy gorilla beast would be surviving and we wouldn't have like figured it out by now in like the United States or something. You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Just zero hesitation. Oh, let me get Zeb off.
I've seen some shit out there, all right?
You've seen one?
I didn't say I saw one. I'm just saying I've seen shit that has made me think about it before. I've seen.
We are loosely talking about Epstein. If you want to call it, if you want to call about apes,
see, Epstein and Bigfoot, they might be related. Is right in there together.
Well, there's a lot of overlap in the mythology.
More conspiracy.
What's the craziest thing you've seen out in the woods?
Craziest thing I've seen out in the woods. A buddy of mine took me up to a place. It's a reservoir, and this is wintertime. The reservoir is completely solidly frozen over, and it's probably half a mile long.
All right, let's get back on track for a second.
Good.
You are on the air with 3CC. What's going on?
Hi, I have a question. It's been an excellent show, by the way.
Thank you.
Thanks.
But, you know, I'm hoping you guys, because this is the most intelligent conversation I've heard about this subject. My question is, what started all of this? I'm going to give you my opinion, and I'll take your answer off there.
Go for it.
That's why I can't decide because Elon started it when he said,
Trump's
when he had his little meltdown and he said Trump was on the list, that's when the whole Epstein thing restarted. So if his intentions were bad, and now all of a sudden it put Trump on his back heel where he's having to defend it because the stuff with the binders was months ago.
Right.
Something's up, and now I'll let you guys, I'm going to go back to listening. This is the first time I've ever called the show, by the way.
Thank you.
No, it's good to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, you know, there's just something off about this whole thing. And I don't know what to think, so I'm trying not to think anything, and I'm just trying to take in. But I keep saying, when did this come back? And to me, Elon brought it back.
I think you're right. I think that's a great thought. Before you go, I'll give you my thoughts on it. You look like
I think that's an excellent question to ask, and I think you've got a valid point in saying where this whole story started to snowball.
Yes,
when Musk had his meltdown,
there was this rift between.
Thank you for that.
Between Musk, and you're right. Musk was the one who tweeted that and kind of put that out there. I think that Axios memo. I feel like Elon Musk had something to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that's, I think, caller, where it may, I'm guessing, but maybe it ties in. Is so Elon, remember back all the way in December, he said, I think I will go to war over this H-1B shit, the likes of which so he's declared war.
Yep.
He's declared a willingness to do it, and a willingness to do it at a level that has never been seen before, whatever that means. But then, yes, recently he drops this, Trump's on the Epstein list, and that's why we'll never get it, which he just repeated the other day, I think. I told you so. This whole DeSantis Pam Bondi being the attorney general in Florida, where DeSantis was. She's already proven to cover shit up, like with Trayvon Martin, or just outright lie about his fake girlfriend that Trayvon Martin didn't actually have. And then Elon was, of course, again involved directly in the government, and he's strongly implying he's seen these files. He's not just saying Trump, but also now Steve Bannon and everybody he doesn't like for whatever. But I don't know. That's, caller, kind of my feeling, is that some conglomerate of allies worked together to put out this memo, and like you said, to put Trump on his heels. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, and you look at the collateral damage of all of this. It's blowing up supposed big names in MAGA, which is Bannon, because look at all the people now lining up against Trump. You've got Tucker, you've got, even though some of them are starting to, kind of walk it back, but the whole... because we watch Real America's Voice a lot. I told my son, turn that crap off. But it got to be too much. That whole turning point thing this weekend was an anti-Trump, because they're all like, oh, if he doesn't release it. Every name there. But I've never heard Tucker sounds hysterical. You listen to him talk, give his speech. I mean, he's almost screaming. His voice is so high. I'm like, what's happening to these people? And who's doing it? Everybody's getting spun up, and MAGA is about to implode. So the intentions can't be good. Trump can't be wanting this. That's why I'm like, where did all this start with Epstein again? I just think it goes back to something not good. Yeah, and that's why I've never liked Elon, ever. I don't know why Trump practically had him living with him. And, he may be paying for it now.
Yep. Goes back to where, Elon, he's taking his toys and he's going to another sandbox because they didn't like the way he was playing.
It certainly seems like that on the surface. Yeah. Yep. Now, I mean, I also don't think it's impossible that this is all kabuki theater, and where they call it kayfabe too. Or, that Elon, it's not impossible him and Trump are working together just to drum up. Like, what's one outcome of this is that Epstein is very much in the public conversation now. Why he is and who that's bad for, I don't think we know yet.
What's going on that we're not knowing about.
Exactly. So we're in this impossible position in that there's not enough information to know what to believe.
Correct. And so that's why I still say Elon and Trump's thing was either fake to get to some point, or because it all started with him. Right. So he's either trying to burn the house down, or he's trying to burn a different house down, and this is just the process they're using, and Trump's also involved. I don't know. But that's where it all started again. Because we hadn't been talking about Epstein, and then out of the blue, he tweets, Trump's on the list, and it's just been Epstein. This is like when Israel, no offense, that's why I found you guys again, because I followed you, John, since you were on, quite frankly, I don't know, it's been a while, but I left all my normal podcasts. I've been in search of podcasts, because all I do is listen all day because I'm out working. And I just can't listen. The whole Israel hysteria. And now it's like it's Epstein. I'm getting tired of just one hysteria after another. Everybody's just running around. Well, they're panicking, okay? That's a good word.
Sure.
But I appreciate, your thoughts, because I don't know what to make of this. That's why I'm just like listening to opinions. I just know when I hear things that are too far, the truth's always somewhere in the middle, and everybody's just getting too out over their skis on this, and
that's a good way to say
I still don't know what to think.
Well, there's certainly bad actors out there, or people that are in it for the money, or they want attention, or they want to be famous. I mean, those people are very obviously out there, and they see controversy like this as a great time to make money and make clickbait. And so, but then there are people like, again, Tucker Carlson, who I think you're right. He was speaking in very emotional tones. I might say that he knows what he's doing, and he's trying to incept that hysteria into the listener to some degree. But he does make good points that it sounds like maybe you agree with, and we agree with certainly, that this Israel should not be off limits. And it shouldn't be off limits to wonder whether Epstein was involved with Mossad or anything like that. But I think there are a lot of people, yourself, myself, the deacon, who also kind of said, what the fuck? But that doesn't mean we're piling on Trump or anything like that. I think that is if you've been watching, especially since 2016, but even just since January, it's a violation of the brand, I guess you'd say, we come to expect from Trump. It's off brand, this comment.
And that's what throws everybody off.
Yeah.
It's not a norm.
But when you get thrown off like that and start spinning, the tendency is to keep spinning and start searching for answers. And I think the reality is there's no answer to find right now. We are at the mercy of this information war, and it's being fought very, very well by very talented propagandists.
And you have to wade through it.
Want you to get emotional and then just latch on to some theory, ideally their theory, their story, and just believe that for the sake of being comforted again. I think the reality is we're not going to know, and it's probably going to be a while. And that sucks. It does suck, but it's a Sunday. A new news cycle starts tomorrow. Who knows what Trump might end up saying? I think at this point he's got to know that people are genuinely wondering what the hell's going on here. But that's the real answer. I mean, it's we're not selling you anything or anything like that. If we were, I'd have some explanation and just be like, this is what's happening, you idiot. Buy my t-shirt.
Buy my t-shirts.
But so yeah, I certainly wouldn't buy too much into what anybody like that is saying. But I think where I do agree with the content of what Tucker was getting at Turning Point USA, that thing. It's a fair question to wonder about Israel. It's a fair question to wonder about this World War II foundation myth we have, and it certainly feels like we're being bullied into not talking about any of this, and I think it's very American to be suspicious of that, of like, hey, why are you trying to get me to not think about this? That's weird. But the implications of thinking about it, or one of the implications, is that Trump is involved in this or covering up. I mean, that is an open possibility right now. I still always hold that the way to get out of being stressed about that is, if that's true, we've always been fucked and we're so fucked, it doesn't matter. I know that doesn't.
We ain't getting out of it.
But yeah, like if we really are already slaves and have always been slaves, then bummer.
I wish George Carlin, and you sound about that age. I wish George Carlin was still alive, because I'd love to hear what he has to say.
The Zoomers
about
might argue with you about that.
The Zoomers, yeah.
I know.
Right now, man, that man was so far in front of all of this. I would love to hear him.
I'll put this to you, caller, like everybody else is. So that all being said, and what you've said and what we've said, and not knowing what the hell's going on, would you like to throw out some sort of guess or prediction of where you think it will go?
I think with Trump, it's always, again, he's good at distracting. I have no idea, to be honest. That's why I called you guys.
Yeah, I think if you can admit that, then you're ahead of most people.
There's just something different this time, but, I just think it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, and that's why I'm going to keep listening to you guys, because at least this is a very intelligent, reasoned a conversation. I like being a part of it. So thank you both.
You've arrived at the same place we have, and if you arrive again at I don't know what the hell's going on, then I'd say you have your head screwed on straight, and you're seeing clearly. If that's your read, you're seeing clearly, because that's my read.
Yep.
And
you're good. Trust me, you're good.
The thing that elevates humans above other animals is our ability to control ourselves, and so we got to wait. That's where I'm at.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you both, gentlemen. Have a great day.
You as well.
Dude,
enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you for calling in. Another great call. Yeah, absolutely. Another great call. All right, let's take it here. I know who this is. 808 area code. You're on the air.
Hey, John. Hey, Mr. Mojack. How y'all doing?
What's going on, Mr. Music?
Hey, this is Jack in Hawaii, greeting you all with lots of aloha. I'll try to be quick. I took some notes, but my thoughts are disorganized. I kind of tend to go with what the first caller was saying. I think it's kind of distracting us. The news cycle's moved on. We were talking about the big, beautiful bill just a week ago, and it seems like a month ago already. Making the debt so big, giving the military more money, which he promised not to do. We were bombing Iran not too long ago. We had Israel sabotaging our diplomacy, Trump admitting we knew all along that they were going to bomb and that it was all a ruse. And so how can they ever trust us again after we were negotiating under false pretenses? Trump saying he's going to give mass amnesty to farm workers, and which is like Reagan 2.0. Reagan giving mass amnesty, which basically turned the deep red state California permanently blue. And we've got a black site in America, this alligator Alcatraz, which Trump is also they're deporting legal immigrants that have green cards just for speaking out against Israel. So now these black sites are ready to go for Americans that are going to speak out against Israel. We've got less deportations going on than under Obama. So, and it's said that 10 million illegals came in under Biden. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually 20 million.
Oh, it's more.
That came in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It is definitely more. I think there is still hope to. I'll try to answer all of those in order to the best of my ability. But there's reasons, all those things you mentioned, that are not enough for me anyway personally to rule out Trump. So starting with bombing Iran, my read on that is that we or Trump finessed the United States out of having to have a boots on the ground war. I think the pressure was on him, probably mostly from Israel, to basically invade Iran and start a whole, Iraq 2.0 sort of thing. And I think he sat there and thought about what is the least involvement we can possibly have to get ourselves out of this situation. And so Israel's whole reasoning, just like ours was with Saddam Hussein, was they're producing weapons of mass destruction, and so we need to invade. And so he said, well, we blew that shit up, so now you guys have no reason to be fighting anymore. And there were no, yet, this is like kind of where I disagree maybe with Nick Fuentes. We didn't go to war with Iran. As far as I know, we're not planning on it. And if I know Trump, based from his first term in Syria and everything like that, he seems to be a president of peace. He's a builder, not a destroyer. And so I'm not saying you have to agree with me or anything like that. But that particular one, again, it'd be nice if the world was black and white and if we had enough power to do whatever we wanted. I think the scary part about that situation is it does reveal that we don't have the power to ignore Israel. We have to do little shady games to make everybody happy. Like, that's concerning. But in that particular situation, to me, it feels like Trump did the best he could. We didn't go to war. We're not in a war with them. That hasn't escalated. It's de-escalated. And so, as long as you extend your timeline, you give yourself more chances to make that situation better. The deportations, again, I do think a big part that gets missed is that a lot of people are self-deporting and a lot of people are not coming to the United States right now because we're cracking down on it. That being said, that can all change as soon as Trump's not president anymore, especially if there's another Democrat president. And I completely agree with you that I think there's way more illegals in this country than is let on. Yeah. There's evidence for this, like the traffic in LA clearing up. You seen that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that is a huge, messy, massively disgusting problem. And it seems like it's genuinely being worked on. You said huge funding for the military. I think a positive is huge funding for Border Patrol.
Border Patrol, yes.
Now makes that one of the best funded militaries there is. So I'm okay with that part of it. Alligator Alcatraz and the idea of Americans like ourselves being sent somewhere for being pro-Israel. God, I hope that doesn't happen. I think we're a ways away from that still. I think Trump would probably be assassinated by Israel before they would start deporting Americans. But it's not a great situation. I for one have no sympathy for illegals getting deported. As far as people that have legally immigrated and got, let's talk about that for a second, actually, if you're still with me. So I don't know any specific examples of legal immigrants that are still have a legal status, meaning that like their green card hasn't expired or they haven't committed any crimes or anything like that. You said you know of people like that have been deported?
I can't name the guy's name off the top of my head, but there was an NYU student that was a legal green card holder that was organizing protests and was arrested and then taken to another state and then preparation for deportation. So I think there's more than
you're right about that. And so that is concerning to me hugely, is getting deported for criticizing Israel. I don't have a good answer for that, and you're right, that has happened. Now, is there some, or maybe there was some legal thing? I mean, Israel likes having all these anti-Semitic laws. Circle Jerk, I will read out your super chats here after this phone call. I have seen you chatting. These it's a hate crime to say anything against Israel in the United States, which is crazy. But if that law is on the books and you do it, and one of the conditions of your legal status is that you can't do that, technically that's according to the law. Although, again, I think that's a bullshit reasoning excuse, and I don't think we should deport people for criticizing Israel. No. They also are at these extremely left-wing institutions, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Music. But there's a whole other political game going on at places like Harvard and Yale that has nothing to do with Trump at all. And so, and of course the state of New York, we see all the corrupt shit they do and that their courts do. I kind of wonder if some of those people were not so much caught by the Trump administration as they were caught by this Israeli captured academic institution, this elitist Ivy Northeast kind of power circle of corrupt fucks. I don't know how to say it, how other to say. So I don't know.
Pretty good.
That's kind of my, and again, I'm not expecting you to agree, whatever. I think that is a great point. It is concerning to think about the possibility of getting arrested as an American for saying something negative about Israel or Jewish people.
And say that's first I've heard of that.
Yeah, no, yeah. So that I think that did happen, but
that's crazy.
I don't know. That's
yes.
Was there? Yeah, go ahead. You respond.
Oh yeah. Sorry for throwing so much out there. It does relate to the Epstein. I know I didn't speak to that directly, but it's sort of like we're paying attention to the one hand while we're not paying attention to what the other hand is doing. And the farm worker amnesty thing that they're throwing out there is especially concerning to me because it's like if they give these guys amnesty, they're already paying them less than they would pay American workers. Mm-hmm. So Americans would take the job if they would get a living wage.
Right.
But instead we're paying illegal slave wages, and then now that continues, and now that's completely out of the news cycle, when that was a big deal just a week ago, that it's like MAGA and the base is like, hey, this is not cool. We did not vote for this. And now it's not really even being talked about much.
So that one, I am right where you're at with that. I tweeted out, amnesty's a deal breaker for me. I will not support Trump if he does that. And then they played this word game where it's not amnesty, it's whatever. And I said, well, if you call it amnesty with just a different label is also a deal breaker for me. There is this real world problem, maybe. I mean, this is the argument being made. that we have all these workers, and that is what's propping up the agrarian part of our economy, if you will. And it's not like we can't get rid of them. It's just that we can't go from the way it is to they're all gone without some sort of intermediary step. And that is actually, I watched, what's her fucking name that was giving a speech about that. But again, I don't believe these people or trust them, but she did say there will not be amnesty. There is going to be a temporary pass for these migrant workers just because we literally need them to keep running the farms. But the plan is to phase those people out and replace them with Americans. So as far as that statement is to be believed, I'm okay with that if there's a plan. Like 3 months transition period, everybody gets deported. There is no amnesty except for these people that are working on farms. I mean, you can go to another country and work. That's not so crazy.
No.
But
20 years ago, even 20 years ago, the deportation and the illegal workers versus the immigrant workers. When I lived in southern PA, I was surrounded by them this time of year because the immigrant workers made their way up the coast. And we never had, I don't want to say there wasn't a crime problem, but we didn't have a big crime problem from these people. We didn't have issues. They shopped at our stores. They bought our groceries and all that kind of stuff. So, but if you're here illegal working, trying to make a living wage, go through the process the correct way.
Right. Yeah. And I have a plan to not need them and have Americans do those
And there's
jobs.
a lot of them that come up to work factory and they'll work 7 years and go back for a year and then come back for 7 years and work and then go back for a year.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're just trying, God love them, trying to take care of their family and stuff. But these ones that are illegal, looking for the amnesty, no,
Scamming
I'm sorry. You go do it the legal way. You come in and do it the right way or don't do it at all.
But anyway.
Well, and Johnny, you remind me of one of the things I thought about is a lot of the talking heads are crying about the deportations and saying these people have no criminal record. And it's like, yeah, but they're here illegally, dude.
Right. Yeah, they do. They do have they did commit a crime.
As soon as they stepped in here without documentation or whatnot.
Well, that's the whole lie that the left bases their argument on, is that coming to this country illegally is somehow not breaking the law.
Yeah.
If you accept that it is breaking the law, then their whole argument falls apart. So I'm with you on that. Believe it or not, we are past 6 o'clock.
Wow, how did we do that?
Final thoughts, Mr. Music, if you're still with us, or predictions or anything like that before we let you go.
Prediction, something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Hamlet Act 1, Scene 4.
I don't think anybody will disagree with you on that. It's always good to talk to you. Hope to reconnect if you're still in the Gilded or anything like that, but we'd love to have you call in on one of these shows in the near future if you're willing.
Thanks for taking my call. You guys have a good rest of your weekend.
Hey, enjoy Hawaii, you bastard.
Really?
I love you guys.
Take it easy, man.
Peace.
All right, that'll be the final call here. We're going to shut Zoom down. I hate to say, just because of the time. Sorry about that, folks, if we just missed your call. But we will do another show Sunday, I think is the plan, or at least as much as we can, and keep taking calls. If you're not in the Gilded, you can find that through, it's like Discord. And that's the best. If you ever want to like plan ahead having a call, make sure you get through on a particular day. That is the way to do it. But we are past 6 here, and some of our streams are going to start shutting off automatically in the near future. So let's wrap it up. Incredible phone calls again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you
I
to
love to hear
everybody
that.
who called in.
Yep, love to hear them phone
Final
calls.
thoughts from the chat. Oh, yeah, Circle Jerk.
Oh, yeah.
I did promise.
You can tell there's a lot of like-minded people out there. I mean, we're all on the same page. We all have the same questions. We're all thinking the same thoughts.
Let's face facts. Ron Paul was our last hope.
Dime bag.
Oh, I was thinking of Rand Paul for a second. I was like, I don't know that I 100% agree with you there. Ron Paul, Pat Buchanan, Ross Perot.
Oh my God. I miss Ross Perot. I love that guy. And I wasn't big into politics then, but I loved Ross Perot, his charts and all that bullshit. He was
Yes, Anderson Cooper is on.
Oh God.
That was from last time. He's like, what fucking you trying to wrap up the show like you got Anderson Cooper coming up next and you got to get in this. No, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
We got stuff to do. But the 4 to 6 time slot seems to be working well. Let me catch a few more chats here from somebody. Oh, man, it's going fast now. Miles E. Flynn, invest in agricultural robots now. Could be very well.
I've seen that. Yeah. I've seen that.
I'm a Cherokee citizen. You are all illegals, bro.
Amen.
Yep. Not even going to engage with that. I think that's trolling. Good advice. The OGTLT world champions. Wrap it up. We're all pissed. Yeah, I'm with you on that 100%. Ron Paul was my jam, the angriest ginger over on Rumble. And a thank you to everybody who joined us on Rumble. Piggy Pie, thanks, gents. And Big Island Kabuto, thanks, John, Johnny, and all world champions. Let's leave it at that. Real quick, Deacon, where can people find you on X? And you're just at
Deacon Mojack on X and Instagram. Deacon Mojack on Instagram.
There you go. Are you gramming, bro?
A little bit here and there.
You gramming?
A little bit here and there.
Got this.
Always remember, people, and never forget. If you know what you're doing, you're fine.
I forgot you had that. That is it for today. I am John Ward, and until next time, remember, you are a world champion. Don't let your memes be dreams. I'm going to stare at you while I turn the volume up.
Love you, people. Bye.
We'll see you next week.